The Right Side with Doug Billings.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the set of my show, The Right Side, and wherever you are around the planet, I'm glad you're here. Today, Trump's decisive strategy is crushing not only Iran's evil empire, but he's putting an end to the globalist agenda. I'm going to share with you some of the details. Thanks for being here, by the way, on The Right Side. Wherever you're watching this thing, whatever platform, please subscribe, follow, and share it. Make a comment. All of those things. And whenever you engage with a comment, with a like or whatever, even if you're a radical kook liberal, every smiley face or eye roll that you put up helps to ignite the algorithm and puts this thing in front of more people's faces. So comment away, whether or not you're intellectually mature or not, because every comment and every emoji helps drive engagement. Today, I want to talk to you and show you something about which the mainstream media will never connect for you. President Trump is executing one of the most brilliant multi-layered strategies in modern history. The only reason people would disagree with what I'm about to tell you is because A, they're intellectually immature, or B, just blindly partisan. It's the only two reasons. Anyone with any shred of intellectual capital and maturity agrees with everything you're about to hear. So he is putting together one of these most significant, multifaceted agendas and plan for America that we've ever seen. He is, first of all, simultaneously crushing Iran's evil empire. And then, number two, he's dismantling the entire globalist agenda. And he's doing it in real time, right in front of us. That globalist agenda that has held the world hostage, or tried to, for decades. And this is not a theory. This is not conspiracy. This is reality unfolding in front of us right now. And the results are already delivering some of the best American leverage that we've seen in multiple decades, and real hope for a safer, prosperous future. It is not only justified, it's moral what's going on, with all due respect to Pope Leo. So let's start with the big picture and contrast that which changes everything, because for years, and I know that many of you in the audience know this, the World Economic Forum, with people like Klaus Schwab, Yuval Noah Harari, Al Gore, King Charles, and a lot of their allies pushed for this dystopian green and great reset. Well, the Great Reset was a plan of energy rationing, carbon taxes, unreliable green power, and the surrender of national sovereignty. And their vision was crystal clear right from the beginning. They wanted to make the world dependent upon unstable foreign regimes and unreliable energy so that they could control our behavior from Davos. Their motto, own nothing and be happy, was never a joke to these people. It was the sales pitch that they used to convince others to just simply manage decline. So President Trump has ignited the true American Great Reset, and it stands in exact opposite direction of the global reset of the Klaus Schwab crowd. It stands for energy abundance, national sovereignty and identity, very important, and industrial revival. The American system is being reborn. I said last week, if you follow me, you saw it. We are in an American renaissance. There's no denying it, ladies and gentlemen. So many people have been seduced by headlines and stories that they think that term, an American renaissance, is just crazy. But once you look behind the headlines and between the lines of the stories, you see the same vision that was championed by people like Alexander Hamilton, Abraham Lincoln, William McKinley. It's being used today. Drill, build, export. That's the plan. That's the model. That's the template. Flood the world. What Trump is doing, he's flooding the world with reliable American energy. And he's turning every nation that wants cheap power and reliable power into a partner and a customer instead of a hostage. That's not rhetoric, ladies and gentlemen. That's record United States oil production, which, by the way, now exceeds Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. We produce over 25 million barrels of oil per day. And our natural gas, that surpasses Russia, China, and Iran all put together. The National Energy Dominance Council, that's led by Doug Burgum and Chris Wright, it's using every tool in its tool chest, including the Defense Production Act. They're using it to supercharge oil, gas, coal, and nuclear manufacturing. So that abundance is the foundation of everything that we're seeing that's unfolding right now. So look at the decisive moves on the global stage that we're taking. Project Freedom, all right, that's the bold new operation announced this week that's placed United States Navy and CENTCOM forces in position to escort neutral commercial shipping safely through the Strait of Hormuz. So the single initiative by itself is testing in real time whether the so-called moderates in Tehran actually control the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or whether it's the hardliners who are still running the show. And early signs are very clear. The fracture that's going on within Iran's leadership is visible, and the regime is weakening every day, folks. President Trump has been very direct. This decisive phase of the operation can conclude in as little as 2 to 3 weeks. So Iran's naval capacity has been effectively sunk, pun intended. The Strait of Hormuz now under effective American protection. Iran is going to act out. They're going to launch minor attacks. It'll make headlines because there are certain elements within the media and within the elected class who actually want America to lose this thing. Shipping is moving. Insurance rates for ships are stabilizing. Very important. That doesn't get talked about, but the insurance rates are an important component of this. And the regime in Iran, their oil revenue, which is the lifeblood of its terror apparatus, is under relentless pressure from sanctions and its own decaying infrastructure. So analysts are already pointing to the coming, as they put it, quote, natural explosion of their aging pipelines, their aging refineries, and their storage sites. So as it turns out, my friends, time is very much so on America's side here. And this is the ironclad red line when you look at all of this that matters the most. Iran will not be permitted to develop nuclear weapons. And the failed deals of the past, the pallets of cash, the endless appeasement, the quiet acceptance of enrichment, all of that is over. And the current strategy is maximum pressure, maximum clarity, and zero tolerance for games. And because America is once again the undisputed top energy producer on the planet, Iran's greatest weapon, which is its ability to threaten global oil prices, has been neutralized. So, as I said at the beginning of this edition of the show, anyone with any shred of intellectual maturity understands this and agrees with it. When American tankers leave our great Gulf of America, and United States natural gas is now powering allies around the planet, the mullah's threats lose their sting. And so, look, folks, this is not endless entanglement. This is not a quagmire. This is smart, limited, overwhelming American power used to restore stability without the nation-building disasters of the past. It is moral, and it is more than justified. Historical perspective. When you look through the lens of history, this proves why we had no choice but to act. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps functions today exactly as the SS did in the 1930s under Hitler. The SS was an ideological shock force that was loyal only to its regime, Hitler's regime. And there are no moderates in the Iranian regime, ladies and gentlemen. In Iran, there are only factions that disagree on tactics while sharing the same apocalyptic goals. You can count on that. Their proxy empire, Hezbollah, the Houthis, and Hamas, it all mirrors the expansionist alliances that Hitler built before the world finally woke up. For 45 years, the world tried engagement. We tried sanctions relief. We tried quiet diplomacy. And all of it failed because it treated revolutionary theocracies like a normal nation state. President Trump's strategy rejects that fatal delusion. And it rejects it once and for all, folks. By restoring energy dominance and by securing the strait and by applying unrelenting pressure, let's be honest, America has stripped that Iranian regime of its leverage, and it's ending decades of chaos. That is the American Great Reset in action. Energy abundance translating directly into strategic dominance. And the hopeful truth here that the doomsayers refuse to acknowledge is that decisive victory here prevents worse tragedy later. You see, every week that the Iranian regime weakens is another week closer to the boom of the American Golden Age, the American Renaissance. Every successful escort through the Strait of Hormuz is another victory for free navigation and lower energy costs for countries who depend on oil from that region. And every blow to the IRGC's terror network is another blow to the global jihadist machine. Look, ladies and gentlemen, this is why we can face the future with genuine pride and optimism. America is once again morally leading the world in diplomacy and strength. There's no sin in that, folks. In fact, we have a moral duty to do exactly what we're doing. The globalists' empire of scarcity and of control is collapsing. And in its place stands now a renewed United States that delivers abundance, security, and hope. Nothing wrong with that. And the American Great Reset, it's not a slogan. It is a living reality that's being built right now. So this is the kind of leadership that makes America great again, folks, and it keeps the world safer in the process. This is justified, this is moral, and this is American. I want to thank you very much for watching. Stay proud, stay informed, and keep fighting for the republic that we love. Please prayerfully consider going over to dougbillings.us to contribute financially to this show so I can keep delivering it to you. Subscribe, follow on whichever platform you're watching this now, and please comment, share it. The more people who do those kinds of things, as I said, help to ignite the algorithm, which in turn will put this in front of more people. We're in this thing together, ladies and gentlemen. Believe it. For the Republic. Cheers.
The Right Side with Doug Billings.